PLC Network here with another unboxing, this time coming from the company Netgear, a company that you are probably more than familiar with. They're everywhere. They have probably a third of the market, if anything, and when it comes to networking, both on the consumer level and on the commercial level. And what we have right now is their Orbi mesh networking system, which is one of the most popular formats of networking both at home and in business right now. And specifically, this is their AC2200 model, the variation of the Orbi. They come in multiple different mixes, going all the way up to, I believe, 3,000? I think 3,000. But what that represents is the actual network strength, speed-wise, combined total throughput. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna open this up, because what this is about is what's inside the box. We're gonna take a look at what it comes with, and you can learn more maybe later on at plcnetwork.net if we publish anything further. So we'll start off by getting this plastic off. And the box slides out of a little sleeve here. It's kind of unusual. They have the front and the back printed backwards. So you have Orbi here on the front, but to see the back, you gotta flip it around again to be able to get to the details on the back. Thankfully, that's not what the concern is here. What the concern is what's in here. And let's take a look at that. You have 3 units. I actually opened up this. Let's do that. Let's do this again. Apparently, this opens up like a soundboard with the thinner portion of the box at the bottom here. When we open the box, the first thing we come to is the actual units themselves right here. So we have 3 mesh units. You have what apparently appears to be the router, because it has a blue top here, as you can see right there, hopefully. You have a blue top, and then these 2 have white tops. These are repeaters for the network. This can actually cover up to 6,000 square feet. So you just spread all 3 units around, and you can get a whole lot of Wi-Fi for those larger homes or small businesses. You have a little box here with some accessories and a piece of documentation, which is a Orbi Quick Start Guide. Inside this box, you have 3 individual plugs that's going to power up each individual device. And you have 1 Ethernet cable, which is technically all you need. This just actually goes between your modem and the original unit, which is your router. Everything else handles everything wirelessly. So it takes the wireless signal and repeats it on to get a further range with. The units themselves, like I said, you have 3 units. You have the one that's marked with blue and the 2 white ones. The blue one is going to be your router, since one of these things doesn't look like the other. And the size of the unit is actually relatively small. We were originally expecting something a little bit larger than this for what it accomplishes. We have a lot of experience with their Nighthawk routers, so we figured this was going to be at least maybe 1.5 to 2 times the size. But we were wrong. It is actually quite small, and you can see based on, the size of my hands and the unit itself. And it has some information on the front. We'll just get rid of that. That just helps you get started initially. The back of this, like I said, this is the one that connects to your router. So you're gonna have an internet port right here, which is what that Ethernet cable goes to between this and your modem. And you have a sync button, which is gonna sync all the devices together, of course. You have an Ethernet port, and this is for connecting in a wired device, like a gaming PC or something you don't wanna connect wirelessly to. And you have a power button to turn it on. And you have a DC input right here, which is gonna be where you plug your cable into, and a small recessed little hole here for a reset button for completely resetting it if all goes to hell. These other 2 devices are what's called your satellites. These satellites are what connects everything else at the extended range, so let's say your modem is at the 1st floor of your house, you got a 3-story house or something, and you got a way in a corner, this is where you're gonna put your router. This is gonna be the initial unit. And then kind of further down the house or the next floor up, you're gonna put this within so many feet away, and that's gonna rebroadcast the signal to get further out. And then of course you'll put the 3rd one somewhere else, maybe on the 3rd floor or further down, or maybe outside on the back side of the house or something, as long as it's still within range of these units, to help broadcast it further, reach the pool or something. Whatever your configuration requires, as long as each one can see each other within a given range that is best for them to get the optimal performance out of each other. On the back of these satellite units, you have additional ports. You have 2 additional Ethernet connections for wired devices that you don't want connected through Wi-Fi. And everything else is the same. You have your sync, you have your power button, your DC input, and your reset button that completely resets the device to factory setting. The same thing applies to the 3rd unit. Just like the 2nd unit here is a satellite and offers exactly the same. You have your 2 Ethernet connections on the back for wired devices, your sync button, power, DC input, and your reset button. And that's it. This is the Orbi AC2200 system. To get everything started, you just plug this bad boy in, get everything set up, sync the other two units together. It's going to be all app driven. That's going to walk you through the process and get you to your optimal range between all of them. So that way you get the best performance out of your network. So AC2200, which means you're going to have 2.2 gigabits total throughput in this network, or at least in this system, set up. The networks broadcasting from these are going to cover your average spectrums, 2.4 gigahertz, 5 gigahertz, and that's it. Again, this is the Orbi AC2200 mesh networking system by Netgear. Go check it out. We'll talk about them later on, maybe at docnetwork.net. And I believe we've had some things to talk about these guys before as well. We're big fans of Netgear. They come up with some amazing routers, so we can only assume that this is going to be just as cool. If you liked what you've seen, don't forget to subscribe below. We have a subscription button down there, as well as on the screen right next to me once I vanish and it goes into the exit title. And there are some comment buttons below, or comment area. There is the comment area below where you can talk to us. Let us know what you think. What's your experience with the Orbi AC2200, or any of Netgear's Orbi solution? And that's it. So, as always, we thank you for watching, and hopefully we'll catch you next time as we have many more videos to come. If you want to stay on top of all the latest and greatest, or at least the gadgets we cover, remember to subscribe right here. Subscription button. Click it. You're going to want to. There's lots of videos, interviews, previews, all sorts of stuff. Button. Click it.